Hello everyone, we are here to discuss where ideas that spark innovation. I'm Rihan, the team leader of Group 9, and with me Noor, Tej, Yasin, and Irfan. It is our plan. I will introduce the core idea, and each teammate will share their personal learning and how they will apply it. We will end with our group conclusion and take your questions. Our presentation divides into the fundamental principle behind driving innovation. At its heart, innovation it's culture, practice, builds intentional, often surprising behavior that creates space for breakthrough thinking. We will highlight three essential elements rooted in this idea. First, psychological safety, the foundation that allows people to share bold and certain ideas without fear of judgment. Second, in-person discomfort and diverse viewpoints. Key to disrupting routine thinking and sparking fresh insight. Third, actively questioning long-held assumption and the established process which open the door for new possibilities to emerge. This element show that lasting innovation isn't accidental, it's a constant, cultivated outcome of culture.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my own opinions. Innovation often began by breaking routines and challenging the way we normally see familiar things, a mindset sometimes called vojada, which encourages us to look at the ordinary as if it were completely new. Creativity rarely comes from comfort. Real progress is often sparked by discomfort. When the ideas feel uncertain or even risky, part of this involves questioning assumptions we take for granted and an occasion setting aside expert opinions to explore fresh perspectives that might otherwise be overlooked. In practical terms, I plan to review one routine text each week, critically examining whether there's a better approach to experiment with or idea brainstorming, a technique that internationally encourages streamingly bad or ridiculous ideas to uncover unexpected situations. By internationally stepping out of autopilot checking and actively reforming familiar situations, we open the door to meaningful innovation. The key takeaway is that true creativity and growth don't emerge from simply repeating old habits. They require a deliberate willingness to see what we thought we know in an entirely new light.
Thanks to the group leader to give me the opportunity to talk about my topics in here. And let's start first. What is actually the weird idea? A weird idea is a strange, counterintuitive, or even uncomfortable way of thinking or doing this that deliberately breaks from the normal habits, old beliefs, and our routine practices. It feels wrong, risky, or silly at first, but that's exactly why it works. By shaking people out of autopilot, making them question everything, mixing in fresh, odd perspectives, weird ideas create the mental and emotional space needed for true sounding action or thought that stops you from doing the same old things. You can discover something new and better. And it thankfully weird ideas push you out of boring automatic routines and help you grow, solve problems, and stay excited about life instead of repeating yesterday's your questions, experiment and improve, whether at work, home, or personal goals. In short, they stop life from feeling stuck and help you invent a better version of yourself. Thank you.
Hello everyone. For me, real innovation isn't just a buzzword. It's a direct result of stepping out of our comfort zones and actively challenging our routines. It requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Satan's idea to treat everyone as temporary is so powerful because it forces adaptability. It reminds us that what worked yesterday might be the very thing holding us back tomorrow. But this kind of disruptive thinking can't happen in a vacuum. To truly explore unusual or risky ideas, you need a foundation of psychological safety. A safe, supportive culture is essential for bold thinking. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about building an environment where people feel secure enough to challenge norms, think differently, and most importantly, learn from mistakes without fear. This is why we must appreciate unconventional thinkers by actively seeking diverse perspectives and regularly reviewing our sacred cows. We can prevent our team from becoming outdated. Finally, the breakthrough that really counts come from this delicate balance of discomfort and safety. Thank you.
Weird ideas are super important for new and cool things. They're different from normal thought. Think about when people first come up with the idea of sharing their home with strangers. Those up. It sounded a bit strange, but it made a whole new way for people to travel and find place to stay. Those odd ideas can change how we do things and make new things possible. So don't be afraid of ideas that seem a little out there. They might just start something amazing.
PPT helped me to understand that meaningful innovation often arises when organizations are willing to challenge stability and adopt practices that may initially feel uncomfortable or unconventional. One concept that stood out was treating established routine as temporary, which highlights how efficiency can sometimes lead to stagnation if not regularly questioned. The presentation illustrated this with examples of companies that changed life standing processes, ignored expert assumptions, and encouraged diverse ways of thinking, showing that innovation requires intentional disruption. Personally, this has inspired me to regularly reassess at least one familiar task or method to see if there is a more effective approach. This may take away is clear. Innovation is not sustained by tradition, but through a continuous commitment to re-evaluate, adapt, and embrace new perspectives. What hit me hardest was the idea of Vijay, seeing the familiar truths a new lens. I tend to fall into routines without questioning them, but this article served a strong wake-up call. Real innovation starts with how we see things. I'm going to make the habit to set aside time each week to revisit a routine task or a problem we already solved deliberately looking for a different angle. I will also encourage my team to brainstorm widely and practical solution just to shake up our usual ways of thinking. Ultimately, I realized innovation isn't just about coming up with something new. It's about seeing what's already there. My main takeaway, my main takeaway, consciously resist mental autopilot because sometimes all it takes to spark change is a simple shift in perspective.
So, what's the final takeaway from Satan's weird ideas? True innovative is not predictable linear process. It's messy, often uncomfortable, and requires a conscious departure from the management practices that makes routine work so efficient. As we've seen, sparking innovation means we must actively invite discomfort to break free from ingrained habits. It means we must enhance variance by seeking out diverse and even unconventional ideas. It means we must have the courage to challenge experts and question long-held assumptions. Finally, it requires us to adopt a temporary mindset towards our teams, our strategies, and our successes. The most innovative companies understand that their greatest strength is not what they know, but their willingness to let go of what they know to discover what's next. The path to innovation is paved with weird ideas. The question is, are you brave enough to try them? Thank you everyone for listening.